right. All right. Episode 5 Forks In podcast. It's going to be a really quick solo one. Here we go. Let's jump right into it. All right. Past few days, been working wicked hard. Outside, in the yard, at work, choring around. For some weird reason, my hands feel, anytime the wind hits my hands a certain way, it feels like it's raining. I don't know what's going on. It's my skin, something. Could have been the result of either contact or inhalation of some weed control chemical. Not too sure. If anyone could figure that out for me, that'd be fucking awesome. Please let me know. All right, moving on. Best decision of my life so far, or in recent times. I deleted Twitter the other day, so haven't had to see anyone's notifications. It's awesome. I don't have to hear anyone's stupid takes. Corona's been the worst thing for my Twitter use because all I used it before Corona was sports. That's the only reason why I kept it around. I like to keep up with sports and stuff on there. And obviously, there's no sports going on besides UFC. And I mean, I love UFC. Who doesn't? But, you know, I don't want to, like, I mean, I don't know. So, yeah. All anyone talks about on Twitter is politics now. I don't want to hear it. And I don't care what political affiliation you are. If you're on Twitter spouting your bullshit, I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care. I don't care, I don't.
I don't care what party, what affiliation, what you believe in. I equally hate all of you if you're going about it on Twitter. I don't want to read your 22 tweet thread about some random bullshit about how some decision in Congress is going to lead to the like amount of worms. Actually, that's not a good example, but I don't want to hear your take on how Congress is going to affect the flowers that you plant in your backyard. Fuck, that's not a good take either. I don't know what is a good example, man. I just, like, I don't want to hear your political fucking takes. I don't want to hear them. Your 22 tweet threads. Fucking bullshit. And I know my friends who are, like, good on Twitter, they're going to be like, dude, what about all the comedy? What about all the jokes and the memes? Any good fucking meme that's on Twitter is going to be on some shitty Instagram meme page the next day. Like, I'm going to see it eventually. So, fuck Twitter. Straight up. All right. Next on the agenda is those mercs, those mercenaries getting caught in Venezuela. Started with some of the opposition guys against Maduro, hiring this American security contracting firm out of Miami, started by some Green Beret. Sounds sick. Sounds like the plot of season 2 of Jack Ryan. Like, going in there, guns blazing, trying to take out some dictator, some socialist dictator. Sounds like a fucking my wet dream. So, when I don't even know, like, they got to the beach and they got captured. I don't know how that happens, dude. And, I guess the guy who owns the contracting company was supposed to make $219 million off the whole thing. Shit's nuts. I would take, like, that's a sick deal, though. Get to go in, take some dude out, make $219 million off of it in oil prices and stockpiled, like, stuff that Maduro has in some warehouse. I take that deal. I take that deal 9 times out of 10.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
So sick, dude. But also mad fishy, because I hear Venezuela is trying to make the case that it was American-backed, which Definitely could be, but their evidence doesn't prove shit. They said they found an American flag patch. Any skilled professional operator is not going to go in there if it was backed by the U.S. Flying the colors of the U.S. unless it was a full-scale invasion. The U.S. does. If it was like a CIA operation, they don't want Venezuela knowing it was us until after the fact. So something's definitely fishy. Definitely something to look out for. What else? I'm gonna be introducing right now the first segment of this podcast I came up with. It's gonna be called Not So Real Indie Bands. It's where me and my guests come up with real sounding names for fake indie rock bands. And this week's is Lesbian Grasswalkers. Do with that what you will. I thought it was funny. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be doing some sick more names for fake indie rock bands pretty soon. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about this week was I wanted to give you guys a preview to me and the boys' discussion on Waco next week, coming at you. So basically, a couple weeks ago on Netflix, they dropped the Paramount Network miniseries on the Siege of Waco from 1993, the ATF's botched raid and subsequent FBI takeover of the Mount Carmel compound occupied by David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. It's a wicked good series. If you got the time to watch it before we have our discussion and I post it next Friday, I definitely recommend you do. Basically, 1993, this is coming off of the failed raid at Ruby Ridge. That's another thing you should look up, Ruby Ridge. The ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, looking for a win. And they decide to target David Koresh, a preacher and cult leader of this like Christian commune, like an end of days type thing. He had bought $200,000, spent $200,000 on guns over the span of 2 years. I'm not gonna knock him for that, but yeah, basically it was like they didn't have really much of a reason to go in there, and then they go in there, guns blazing, people die on both sides. Ends up in a 52-day standoff once the FBI takes over, and it ends up with most of the Branch Davidians dying in a fire at the end. The whole show's really good. It mixes both point of views from an FBI hostage negotiator and one of the Branch Davidians. Takes stuff from both of their books, and I think it did a really good job of telling the story of both sides. And yeah, I definitely think you guys should go check that out if you're interested. I know a lot of my friends have. Yeah. So we're going to have... Everyone's going to be pouring their takes in there next week's episode. So look out for that. What to do next? Oh, I'm going to end this. 9 minutes, baby. Cooking through this. Top 3 shows that I've been streaming this week. Mindhunter on Netflix. But FBI behavioral sciences profiling serial killers in the 70s. Fantastic show. I'm on it for the second time. American Vandal on Netflix. The spoof of like Making a Murderer. Both 2 seasons. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Go check that out. And Letterkenny on Hulu. If you know me, I quote that show all the time, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So I cooked through that. Episode 5, that's a wrap. See you guys next week. Me and the boys talking about Waco. It's going to be good. Good discussion. Definitely worth a listen. So we'll see you then. All right? Later.